Barcelona is not just a club, it's a style, a legacy, and today I have gathered the best Barca squad in whole history. From the legendary Johan Cruyff to the magic of Leo Messi. Someone will be in the starting lineup, someone will be on the bench, but absolutely every part of the great era. Sit back, a real football party is waiting for ya.
Piel de gallina.
Són molts astres que en un moment just es van juntar. A més de 25 anys, si encara es parla d'allò, no parlarem d'allò de quants títols van guanyar, sinó com ho varen fer.
Pep Guardiola will be the coach of our team, just one of the most legendary coaches in Catalonia. But we draw to the position of the goalkeeper, and of course for some reason throughout the history of Barca I cannot name a lot of options as it was in the Real Madrid. On the one hand it's easy, right away I take Marc-Andre ter Stegen. 442 games have already been played and the number continues to increase. Anyway, with the rating of 88, the 32 years old German goalkeeper is definitely a legend of Barca. Therefore he flies in our squad, and Ter Stegen is absolutely good goalkeeper, but there is another candidate who has played more than 100 games. Unfortunately he still does not have a card, neither a hero nor an icon in the game, but I think absolutely everyone of you knows about this goalkeeper. We are talking about Victor Valdés. But maybe that's why he doesn't have a card. After all, he showed his prime only in Pep Guardiola's Barca. And after that, his career wasn't so much interesting. His max rating in all FIFA's games was like 85. I even made him in principle 86 in all stats, his prime age, a photo. But unfortunately, yes, he does not have a game face. So do not pay attention to this. But in any case, it will be interesting to see who will take the main squad, Valdés, Ter Stegen, who will see everything, of course, a little later. Well, now let's move on to the position of the left defender, and here is the candidacy of Jordi Alba, a very fast flanking defender, Brazilian style in Spanish, one of the most successful fullbacks in the history of the club, and of course Jordi Alba with the awesome rating age. We also return him to our Catalan Barca and move on. And then you need to choose the right fullback, and here is the similar option, also an incredible legend of the club, a real machine on the flank, a record holder in the history of football. It's Dani Alves, also the prime rating, the prime age, returning in the prime Barca. It's the turn to strengthen our center of defense and the concrete of the Catalan Barca, and here of course the #1 legendary cap, Carlos Puyol, the real heart and the soul of the team, and well, without him, of course, Barca is absolutely not Barca. Therefore, without a doubt, we take Puyol as the first central back, and then Ronald Koeman, the author of the goal in the final of the 1992 Champions Cup, the first central defender who played as a playmaker. Guys, just look at his stats and watch this spectacle. Defender with the 86 shooting. Not every attacker will have such stats for shooting. And now, guys, we already closed the position of our goalkeeper, and with the defensive line, we move to the juicy center of the field. As many as you have noticed, our main scheme does not have the position of attacking midfielder. After all, in Barca, in principle, there was defensive guy in the central squad. Therefore, we start with the position of the defensive midfielder. Here, of course, Sergio Busquets, with a prime rating, the 30 years old, and with a gorgeous defensive stats. As always, not a great pace, but he doesn't need it. After all, Busquets is the brain of the defensive zone, a player who can just read every moment on the field. But the fact is, who will have next in our midfield? Well, your jaw will just fall off. You know these candidates very well. Xavi, Iniesta, two roofing players of the center of the field with an incredible field vision, absolute symbols of tiki-taka, and we already managed to close the position of the center of the field. Only our juicy attack remains. But before that, do not forget about our bench players. After all, throughout the season, our team will also participate in La Liga. Therefore, rotation is 100% necessary. That's why we add another central defender. And of course, this is Gerard Piqué. Of course, Puyol and Koeman are the bases. But Piqué in his time was the main one in the era of Guardiola Barca. In addition to this, we are taking Rafael Marquez, the most universal defender of the 2000s, a very close person to him in style of play, Javier Mascherano. Also, do not forget that we are only one Jordi Alba in our left and only one Dani Alves on the right. So at least we need one more left or right fullback. Therefore, an ambiguous choice. This is not Jules Koundé, this is not Alejandro Balde, Sergio Roberto. It seems to me that the real fans of Barca understand how much this guy made his contribution to the history of the Catalans. Incredible goal against PSG, an incredible Barca comeback, more than 370 matches played for the Catalan team, and in principle how versatile the player who can close the position of right back and the center of the midfield. Also, I returned him in his prime form. His maximum rating in his entire career was 83. Now he is 28 years old, of course only in our game. Balde and Koundé have not yet done what Roberto did for the team, so I think that you will understand my choice. Therefore, still in the center of the field, I return Ivan Rakitic, also in his prime age, with the prime rating. It seems to me very underrated player. And the next guy will be a player from the modern Barca, naturally except for Ter Stegen. This is Pedri, because I believe that when he is in good shape, plays all the matches, then you cannot worry about the center of the field. When now we can already move into return our attackers, and we start with the position of the left winger, and here each and every one of you can have your own candidates. But sorry guys, I choose the two only guys, Ronaldinho, Neymarito. And the choice was so difficult. There's always a lot of debate about who is better, but I'll say this. If you watched Ronaldinho's in his prime, you already know the answer. Anyway, I'm bringing both players back, and only the game will decide who is better. Next is the position of the forward, and there can be a lot of options. Absolutely everyone has it. David Villa, Samuel Eto'o, Thierry Henry, maybe Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the same Robert Lewandowski, who seems to have scored over 100 goals for Barca already. But again, the best of the best. And for all times of Barca, I decided to take Luis Suarez in his prime form. El Pistolero was simply unstoppable then, and his comrade will be Johan Cruyff. Yeah, of course, he is more than attacking midfielder, but we do not have this position in our squad, and Cruyff can easily play the position of the forward, so we return in the legendary icon. And now we have the last position of the right winger. Well, here I choose Lamine Yamal.
I like the way you kiss me.
Well, of course, it's a joke, guys. Prime Lionel Messi with a rating of 94 with the super stats. What a Yamal, guys. Today we have the topic of the return the best players. And Yamal has not yet done what it takes to be in our team. Well, a double for Messi is definitely needed, and I decided to return Samuel Eto'o. Because a rather dubious option, you say. But now I will try to argue my choice. And this is the argument. 199 matches played, 130 goals scored. In fact, only Messi and Suarez conceded. In any case, he can play on the right position, so the team can be expanded to infinity. So guys, I created, in my opinion, the best Barca of all time, and now together with an incredible bench of the reserve player. And by the way, speaking of the modern Barca, I took only Ter Stegen and Pedri out of there. Therefore, throughout this season we will participate in La Liga with the modern Barca and Real Madrid, and let's see if we can outrun them. And also, will we be able to win the Champions League? Well guys, in the end our Barca took the 16th place in the group stage. Only 3 victories, and the original Barca in the 6th place. So unfortunately, we are in the playoff stage. We'll play against Borussia Dortmund. In principle, we see that our squad, Ronaldinho, plays a little more matches than Neymar. Also, I can say the same thing about Luis Suarez. So to keep things fair, I'll rotate them and send them on the pitch one after another. So okay, the first match against Borussia Dortmund, it's 3-1. What the hell, we fly away from Borussia Dortmund with touch score. Okay guys, here's the response, and well, as I promised, let's launch Neymarito instead of Ronaldinho, and Johan Cruyff comes on the forward. I don't know guys, we just need to score. I hope for the comeback, and it's 6-0. What a match! 11 shoots on goal, 6 chances. And look at these moments: Neymar, Ronald Koeman, Messi, Cruyff. So in the first half we already completely buried our opponent. Therefore we advanced to the round of 16, where our opponent this time is Arsenal. But Arsenal is something tough. And now I will take a closer look to this lineup. I will release Neymar and Johan Cruyff once again. We press quick calculation, and again 4-2. Why do we always lose in the first match? So guys, I don't really believe in our comeback. It's such a strong team, it's doubtful, but this time we're stunted Ndinho and Suarez. Let it be so. We press quick calculation at 4-1. Unfortunately, the game crashed, and I can show you who scored. But hey, the good news is we are moving on to the next stage anyway. In the quarterfinals, we'll play against PSG. Quick calculation, and again 2-2. Maybe it's our curse not to win in the first match. Well guys, the second leg is coming up. Again, quick simulation, and it's... Boy, the penalty! 9-10! What? What a match! Bob, then Iniesta. Again Iniesta with a double. But of course PSG didn't let us go so easily. What a match again, Bob. What a Bob.
I'm Bob.
And then the incredible series of penalty. Ronaldinho messed up, but thank Kvaratskhelia for supporting the Brazilian maestro. And then further, wow. This is simply the most incredible experiment. Now guys, we are in the semifinals. Our opponent is Liverpool. And just look what the chances to facing the original Barca in the finals. But first of all, we need to go through the Merseyside. And now let's go quick simulation. Again, it's a draw. What the hell? Okay, guys, let's go. Here's the answer. Daniel is on the red card. But it's time for the Sergi Roberto, the underrated player. And let's go. Let's show the result. 1-0! Let's go! Andres Iniesta! And we didn't concede a single goal against Liverpool. Now we finally reach the Champions League final. And in the final, guys, it will be Bayern Munich. Come on, look how everything was sweaty for them. And only in the return match, how Barca couldn't score a single goal. Ay. But again, before the final of the Champions League, let's see our results and the statistics. And in La Liga, Barca takes the first place. Wow! Even Los Blancos overtook the modern Barcelona in the 5th place. Ligones the 6th. Okay, Copa de España, but here of course we give the initiate to the Los Blancos. Okay, and according to the statistics, Luis Suarez is on top. He's the best forward, 31 goals. But Leo Messi, look at his statistics, 30 plus 13. Ronaldinho also was nice, but Neymar only scored 2 goals less. But in any case, we finally make it to the final to prove who is the best team in all Europe. And now Andres Iniesta. What a pass to Sergio Busquets. Sergio Busquets back heel to Javi. Let's go, El Pistolero. What a shoot! El Pistolero. How close it was to the goal, but a little unlucky. It's a counter-attack for Bayern Munich, and Alphonso Davies. What was that? It's a Messi turn to cut past Alphonso Davies. Down the left, Leo Messi. It's not that easy to deal with the prime Messi. It's a counter-attack for Barca. What a pass to Luis Suarez. Punch through. The score is 2-1. The Catalans take the lead. And Ronaldinho is doing well now. Pass to Javi. Let's try it. But on Simon, okay. Ankara Messi. It's not even a penalty kick. Barca immediately sees the opportunity. Ronald Koeman. Okay. And now it's a counter-attack for us. Ronaldinho. Messi. What a finish. What a finish. But Neymarito, it's a chance for him, Simon. But Ronaldinho, what he is doing here, what magnificent moves from Ronaldinho, pass to Iniesta, nice, let's go! Fuck, Jordi Alba immediately gives a Neymarito, let's go, Neymar.
No, not at all. That was a really
No, it's a penalty for us. Let's go, Neymar, you can do it, now or never, let's go! Panenka from Neymarito. And it is 3-1 in the finals. I think it's the last chance for Bayern Munich. Papin, Carlos Puyol, what a block. Now Ronaldinho. And this is the final whistle. The most difficult challenges in this stage of the Champions League. We managed to win the finals. And the best Barca team for all time takes the Champions League. What an awesome video, guys. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments down below. And don't forget to check out my channel for new cool experiments. Thank you!